All right, so thank you very much. We are the patient list team, along with Eckhart at the back. Just to go over briefly the problem. Every junior doctor up and down the country produces a patient list that they normally do in Word or Excel, because even if you've got a good electronic patient record system, it doesn't necessarily have the functionality to be able to produce a task list of things that need done. They get lost. There's no governance issue around them. Usually they get shredded at the end of the day. And so some of the benefits for what we're doing is that roughly we say there's 10,000 junior doctors who might save 5 minutes a day using this application based on an average salary of 35,000. You save that much money in a year in clinical activity time, and you save a lot of trees. If I'm in the clinic, the only way that I can find out what is happening on the ward after my ward round with the house officer, the SHO, the more junior doctors, is to call them at the end of the day. But perhaps they've left early, perhaps one of them's got sick. So the only way that I can potentially find out what has happened is to go up and look through every single set of patient notes or trawl through an electronic patient record that may or may not have everything properly recorded in, and we said there about 50% at the end of the shift. We actually gets transferred either into the electronic record or the notes, and then this paper record gets destroyed at the end of the shift. If you had everything that was electronic and properly governed by being able to be fully recorded and searchable, then anywhere in the hospital, me or my consultant can have a real-time picture of what's been planned, what's happening, what's been done. Any web interface device can do it. Pushed back onto EPR at the end of the day, so there's a proper governance and recordable actions that have happened. And
yeah. So part of the solution, these are the things that we put together for this. So it's encrypted on the wire, and it asks the junior doctor to use their own device. It supports the information governance because it's not on pieces of paper, and nothing is stored on the device either, so it all stays within the hospital network. And it uses HL7, so it takes a feed from the hospital EMR, and so all the data is as was properly clerked when the patient was booked in. So yeah, HL7, Linux, Mod Rails, MySQL, Ruby, Git, Coffee. Let's have a quick look at it. Here we are. Do you want to talk through it, Con?
Yeah. So if we go, if you go say to renal ward, and will be able to in the future search by consultant or whatever way you want to do it. This is a list of all the patients that you have. You can assign them a category so that you can immediately know which are the sickest patients and which ones you want to go to. If we go to the to-do list, so we just click on that for Roger Rabbit, you add in whatever you want to do. Yeah, so massage legs. So that then. And then you can change them from to-do to pending. So to-do is that you need to action something pending as you're waiting for a result or you're waiting for someone else to get back to you. And then immediately once it disappears off the to-do and pending, you can go to history and find out exactly what has happened in the past, what time, who's done it. And then there will be the ability, if we go back to the handover, which will mean that this function doesn't work yet, but you'll be able to click on handover, so at the end of the day, this will automatically appear in a F1 handover list so that there's no faffing around with paper writing, or everyone gets an automatically generated handover list. Guys, do you want to maybe?
Yeah, sure. So we've built all this using Ruby on Rails since Friday, since Saturday I should say. It's been really, really great from a developer perspective to work very closely with a doctor, be able to just say, yeah, find out exactly what they need, get right in about the things that are going to make a big difference for the doctor. Paul?
The technology is not interesting really, but what is interesting is that we've just taken a very rough approach. We've been concentrating on requirements and getting feedback on those, because that's the way we generally work. Now that it's settled down, we can work on making it prettier, making the user interaction much better.
Yeah, and it works on iPhones. I mean, it'll work on absolutely anything. And the nice thing is, if I'm sitting in clinic, I can just see, so I know that Roger Rabbit needs to get various things done. I can see that they haven't checked his NIPPV settings yet, but the minute that on the mobile device the house officer does that and kicks it off, then back in real time I can instantly see that they have at least actioned it, so maybe they're waiting for the nurses to get back to them or something, and then 2 minutes later that's done, and it's not there anymore. If I want to just absolutely make sure that it's because it's been done, I can go to the history of it. So.
Could I just ask, on this concept of a to-do list, is that something that people would normally automatically do, or does this tool in effect force people who've got a sort of mental checklist to formalise that so that it's intelligible to somebody else that's taking over the patient's care?
So it's probably both. I mean, it's surprisingly how similar every patient list looks. So just about every junior doctor would normally do it as part of their routine course, but it does mean that if they were thinking about things and had a mental checklist, it forces them from a governance point of view to do it, and so you can see exactly what time things happen there.
Would you think of developing this so that it actually linked to the first A&E record, because of course, and then transfer the patient across to the consultant team and then to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we could.
Yeah.
Well, I think from that perspective.
When you're admitted at A&E, then you're admitted onto the hospital's EMR, and then the message can flow to patient lists. So it's all about integration here. It's all about having things connected up.
Thank you.
Can we move on then? Thank you very much.